Hey, welcome friends to Steven's Entitled Rock Show, where today we are joined in the studio by some young, fresh fellows who we caught up a while back in the field. Ladies and gents, say hello to Panic at the Disco. Welcome, good to see you guys. Busy, busy, busy. A lot of hype, it's good. Now, when we talked to you on the Nintendo Fusion Tour, the album just dropped, and you guys were on this big tour. Have you had a chance to catch your breath?
Yeah, we had a little bit of time off over Christmas and New Year's.
So like a day?
Yeah, we went home and after the Nintendo Fusion Tour, and then we got ready for some headlining shows. So then we did that, and they were just like California shows, and then we did our video down there at the same time. And then we came back for a few weeks and took a break for maybe a week and a half, and then started practicing for tour again.
So basically, no, as always. Nobody gets a break here. All right, now a lot of you out there have been asking for some couch time with Panic at the Disco. We've got them locked in for the whole hour. But right now, we're going to serve up our first helping of videos with Panic's good friends, Fall Out Boy. This is Grand Theft Autumn. Where is your boy? All right, there's the great Alkaline Trio with Mercy You Me. Now, we're hanging today with Panic at the Disco, talking about their debut disc, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Now, you recorded the record with Matt Squire in College Park, Maryland. Was that College Park, Maryland?
Exciting.
Wow, I've been there. Was this like, did you ever have any family and friends come visit you guys back east?
No, we were pretty secluded. Yeah, we were there for 5.5 weeks, and we spent from pretty much like the time the sun came up until maybe midnight at the studio, so that was like all we saw.
We didn't have one day off because it was such a strict schedule. We couldn't go over.
Yeah,
it was 5.5 weeks straight.
So you didn't really get to go out and party in College Park.
Right, we didn't get to see all the sights.
Right, yeah, party in College Park.
They're hard to see.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. All right, we're going to put the kibosh on the convo for a few minutes and get some hate mail from College Park, Maryland. We'll be back after the break with stories about the surreal video for I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. So don't move. To our Panic at the Disco edition of SURS. Now, we're about to watch the video for I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, but fill me in on how the video came to fruition, who came up with the concept, where'd you shoot it, and all that.
We came up with the idea and the concept with the director, Shane Drake, at the Nintendo Fusion date in LA. We sat down for about an hour and just went over ideas, and it was shot in LA, and it was shot kind of maybe 10 minutes away from LA at this movie ranch in the same house that they shot The Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it looks kind of like a horror movie kind of thing, and yeah, it was definitely an amazing experience. We had, as you'll see in the video, the circus troupe, which was a group called Lucent Dossier. They were a group that Shane, the director, found. We told them what we wanted, and they fit the description perfectly. The guy in stilts, a bearded woman, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So.
All kinds of good, wholesome fun. All right, cool. Well, here it is. Panic at the Disco with I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. And there they are, Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Now, this was the first time making a music video?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it get on your nerves?
Tiring.
Yeah.
16-hour day. So
Was there any fun?
when we showed up, it was cool. It was new and exciting. And then, like by halfway through the day, when they told us we were halfway through the day, we were exhausted and so ready.
Way over. Now, did we learn any circus tricks from the circus in the video?
No, unfortunately.
No fire breathing, no still walking?
I would have liked to, that would have been something to see, like have him blow some
Stage,
fire on stage.
so that would have been great.
That might have made it a little more fun.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because you can walk away breathing fire. That's a day well spent.
Yeah.
I think, at least. Did you get to keep the fancy clothes?
They
I
got to
kept
keep
stuff.
their
You kept
uniforms.
stuff?
I
Yeah, I kept my costume, but
Why did they let you keep it?
I don't know. It was really cool. Actually, I'd love to wear that again, but
Who'd you piss off?
a lot of people.
everybody.
Yeah, everybody hated me.
fans.
So.
Stop it. All right. It's time for another round of sponsor blathers. Stick around. We got a lot more with Panic at the Disco, plus a full slate of videos, including Messed and Motion City soundtrack, up next. The Steven's Entitled Rock Show, where today we are graced with the presence of Panic at the Disco. We're going to have a little more hang time with them, but coming up first, here's Messed with Take Me Away, Cried Out to Heaven. There's Motion City soundtrack and My Favorite Accident. Great song. Now, they're a band that you guys shared a bill with, kind of an older band. Let's talk about these older bands. Any hazing that's happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
The end of the Nintendo Fusion Tour, the date in New Jersey was kind of definitely where, I mean, we knew that stuff was going to happen. One of the main things was, especially I think a lot of it was from specifically Pete. One, because we're on his label, and two, just because they were, we're a headlining band, and so I don't want to like, I don't give any credit to like Patrick, Peter, or Joe, or like, I think it was all Pete. And Andy maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
Andy's insidious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like in the middle of everything.
they flip their confetti cans around, normally to shoot out into the crowd during their set, but during our set, they had turned them around, so we just got like covered in confetti halfway through our set, and it's just kind of, and they were throwing flour and running on stage naked, and
Oh, and then they got me naked.
yeah.
So that was
They
not,
literally
they-
stripped
not
you down.
completely.
Close,
Boxers,
yeah.
pretty close. Yeah, pretty much the boxers. That was humiliating. I have to say.
There was no like tar and feathering or syrup or.
They're gonna.
I heard they were
They
going
probably
to.
were, yeah.
I heard they were going to spray us with honey water and then shoot the confetti, but
Oh, that would have
Yeah.
been wonderful.
The
they
confetti
didn't,
are
they
banned,
didn't, they didn't
too.
pull it off.
And when we walked out to like, start the show, our theme music got changed to Backstreet's Back
Nice.
Yeah.
that night.
See,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
I back that.
good.
All right. Time for another commercial break, but please do not go far, because we're only halfway through our time together with Panic at the Disco. Steven's Untitled Rock Show. I'm Steven, and this is Panic at the Disco, who we're going to catch up with more right after we watch this one. It's called Check Marks, and it's from The Academy Is. There's The Academy Is with Check Marks. You guys are going to go to the UK with them, and tour and stuff. What's the most exciting thing you're looking forward to in the UK?
Well, the shows and also just being there. 'Cause
The
none of
shows
us-
are all sold out, right?
I believe
Yeah, I think
so.
so,
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So those should be great, and none of us have ever even been there, on like a vacation or anything before. So just kind of like getting to see everything.
Yeah, the Brits really don't like music much, so they don't expect a lot of
Yeah.
fervor or enthusiasm or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be very boring. That's going to be awesome. We're just going to travel around, and you're all legally allowed to drink there. Wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Now, as you're traveling over there, you guys going to be doing the whole tour bus action?
Yeah, we're
think?
sharing one with the Academy actually. So.
Okay,
And I
that's
hear
cool.
it's like a double-decker bus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pretty
That'll
excited
be,
about
yeah.
That's that's probably what I'm most excited for, to see this double-decker bus.
I know.
Yeah.
You're not in a van
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
in
awesome.
the United Kingdom. That's awesome. All right, time for another batch of adverts. That's what they say over there in the UC. We're going to be right back, so don't go far. Here with Panic at the Disco, and we've still got music videos to send your way, and here's one. It's Reliant K with Be My Escape. There's Reliant K and Be My Escape. Now, you guys were out last summer with Trios and Cartel while Reliant K was out doing the Warped Tour, so will we see you gents on the Warped Tour this coming summer?
No, actually we're not.
Why not? What are you doing?
Well, I believe we're gonna be doing our first headlining tour around then. So
So that doesn't suck.
yeah. So, well, hopefully it doesn't suck.
Hopefully,
I think you guys
that'll
are
be
doing
for you to decide. If it
well. I
sucks.
think you guys are doing pretty well right now. I can only imagine what your first headlining tour is going to be. So you're going to miss out touring during the day and playing outside at 11 in the morning with 80 degrees and
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're missing out.
We'll tell you how it is. 'Cause we're going to be there.
Have fun.
It's going to be. It is fun, but man, it's a lot of work. All right. It's time for one last commercial break, but we got more videos and more with Panic at the Disco in store, so stay tuned. Come back, and thanks again for hanging out today. We're with Panic at the Disco. We talked about touring a lot, but is it true you played your first live show after recording?
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of a weird way to do it.
Yeah, a little backwards, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of bands would rather do that than
Yeah.
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 play live for a bit.
Made us very nervous about, we'd already got, wrote and recorded a record, and then we knew that we were going to be on that acceptance tour, and we kind of had one show to get ready and like work everything out before we were actually on a tour. So,
Bit of a trial by fire.
yeah, exactly.
Now, is it true that somebody's grandmother gave up their living room to be a practice space?
Yeah,
Really?
she did. She was planning on moving, and they weren't going to sell the house for like another month. And I said, well, it's better than, we didn't have enough money to run a practice place, and my parents didn't want us in their
Yeah.
house. So,
That's cool. So she was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, sure.
yeah. It was actually, it was very good.
Don't stain the rug.
Well, our first practice with Brendan ever was in my grandma's house. I'm sure that was a little odd for him to
Yeah.
show up to.
That's funny.
Cookies and sandwiches.
Well, I was just afraid of like jumping with the guitar and breaking their really nice coffee table. So that was a little different.
You got to pull the coffee table back.
Yeah,
you really
and
have
then
to
I
pull
learned
the
that,
coffee
yeah.
table back to rock. All right. Here's the early November with the mountain range in my living room. Ooh, living room. See?
There you go.
There's the early November, the mountain range in my living room. Now, in January '05, you guys signed your first record deal. We're sitting here now in January '06, so let's project to '07. Panic at the Disco, where do you see yourselves?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
quite
we
a
might
poser,
be
isn't it?
getting ready to tour again for the next record around then.
Yeah, we're after that headlining tour in the summer. We're planning on taking some time off and writing, hopefully recording. We didn't want to wait like 3 years to, do our next record. So
Yeah, the Beatles used to put out like 4 a year. So
yeah.
get that music out.
Yeah, they had some success, so we
think-
figure maybe
Yeah, a little bit.
a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Think you're gonna do some writing on the road?
It's difficult in a van to do it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? But,
Maybe on a bus.
yeah,
All
if
right,
we
we
get
got a bulk, guys. But hey, thank you guys so much. Panic at the Disco. Come back soon. I'm Steven, and here is Echo and the Bunnymen with Bring on the Dancing.